Hi, it's Charlie from Stan James. Welcome to a preview of the third Ashes Test, which begins at the Wacker in Perth in the early hours of Thursday morning. It's Stan James. I think quite surprisingly we can't split the Baggy Greens and England. England, of course, 1-0 up in the series, having won quite emphatically, very emphatically, an innings and 71 runs at Adelaide last time. Yeah, 13-8 each of 2-9 for the draw. Remember, this is, everyone say, oh well, England have got such a poor record that I don't think they've won since 1971, and they've certainly lost their last 5. But it's also the Wacker. Australia have lost 2 of the last 3, and the only one they won was against the very, very ordinary West Indies side. When you look at the players as well, Michael Clarke, Ricky Ponting, Michael Hussey, they've all got pretty ordinary records at the Wacker. Ponting's got 114 tests. I don't know, I just wonder why is there an overreaction by ourselves at Stan James. Okay, Stuart Broad's out, but he hasn't exactly been a revelation in the first 2 test matches. Simon Cattage is out for the Aussies as well. Philip Hughes will come in at the top of the order. Philip Hughes, I think this is, we could easily bounce him out. We did so in Cardiff in the first Ashes Test. I think Fred did as well on that occasion. We think he's susceptible to the short ball. It's interesting because, of course, what will happen to the pitch? What does the Aussie curator, what does the groundsman do? Does he produce a result wicket? The suggestions are that that's what he's going to do. Mitchell Johnson, who has bowled well on the Wacker before, he's got 21 wickets in his 3 test matches there, including an 8 against South Africa. I think he'll be a threat. Ryan Harris will bowl. Who will be the third seamer? Will it be Hilfenhaus? Will it be Peter Siddle? I mean, you take them on against Chris Tremlett, who of course didn't bowl particularly well against Victoria in the recent game. Steve Finn and also Jimmy Anderson. I think that maybe we've thought, hang on a minute, Anderson's been on a 12,000 mile round trip. Finn has had a 5 I think maybe even a 6 but he's not exactly been a great threat. And Tremlett, of course, who disappointed Albion on a real featherbed of a wicket last time. Yeah, you take them. I think both bowling attacks are sort of similar, and then fast bowling attacks, and then you get to Graham Swan, who's 8-11 with ourselves at Stan James to be the top wicket taker in the series. I just wonder, the weather is set for there may be some showers on the 5th day, but the first 4 days are forecast to be glorious. 13-8 England, 13-8 Australia, and 9-4. We are the biggest price at Stan James England, and I wonder if that 13-8 will last until the toss at Perth. I think if England win the toss as well, it wouldn't surprise me if they go 5-4 around about 11-8. I do think it is slightly superior. I think we've got a very, very good batting side as well. Just quickly go through some of the top English bats. Alistair Cook 7-2 with Kevin Pietersen. Remember, we got battered a bit over 200 runs in the corresponding fixture in 2006. I think it was 207 runs we won by, but Pietersen and Alistair Cook both got hundreds in the second innings, and 7-2 each of 2 for that. Andrew Strauss 4-1, had 2 low scores, and of course 100. Jonathan Trott 9-2, 11-2 then for Ian Bell, and 7-1 for Paul Collingwood. And again, all of those batsmen have been informed to some degree. You get that against the Australians, 7-2 Shane Watson, 7-2 also for Ponting, as I said, only 114 tests. 9-2 Phil Hughes, we're going to bounce him out. 9-2 Michael Clarke, who is a decent player, there's no question. 9-2 Mike Hussey, who's the real grinder and has been the best, no question. Remember, of course, he was on the trapdoor before the first test at Brisbane. Just quickly, England series were 9-4 on with Stan James for England to win the series, not just to regain the Ashes, to win the series. It's 7-2 then a drawn series, which of course would mean that England retain the Ashes, and 5-1 the Aussies. They've got to win at least 2 out of the next 3 tests. Correct score 2-1 England is favourite at Burlington Bear 230, 3-0 for England, 11-2, 2-0 for England is 6-1. Alistair Cook is the 13-8 on favourite with ourselves to be top run scorer in the series. Remember, we were putting up 10-1 that he could beat Bradman's record of 900 plus runs in the series. Graham Swan, as I say, 11-8 on to be the top wicket taker rather in the series. But England, which one's going to turn up? We've lost the last 5 at the Wacker, or the one that won the last test by an innings and 71 runs. Don't kid yourself, this isn't a great Australian team. They've lost 2 out of the last 3 at the Wacker, and I think they'll lose again. England 13-8 to withstand James. Be lucky.